Giobbi and Bklava. Thank you very much for jumping on FaceTime with me. Sinner has had all of the love here at Capital Dance. Talk me through how this powerhouse of a team up came about.
Me and LP kind of like crossed paths, I guess a bit before this, but really we've got like the same UK agent, and I'd known of LP before. I think LP and vice versa, and we kind of started working on a couple of tracks. And it was weird because Sinner was like kind of pushed aside, and the other track was kind of more of the focus, and it's because Sinner had like a completely different instrumental underneath, and it was just like there was something that we both agreed like wasn't really clicking for the track. And then like I'd got all the vocals down, the lyrics down, and LP was like, I just let me sit with this, and just came back with what we know as Sinner now, which is obviously just like taking it to what we heard before, like another level. And it's just like,
okay, wait, she's being
at the place it was supposed to be, so it's just magic. Like she worked her magic.
So that's the Bklava version. What's the truth, LP Giobbi?
Yeah, she's been like so sweet and so kind to me. The truth is, I sent Bklava a track and she wrote Sinner on it. And Sinner is one of the best vocals top lines ever, right? And it just compared to the track just wasn't as good. It was just straight up not as good. So I was like, wait, I need to build an entire new track around your vocal because what you laid magic and I, in comparison, did not. And so she's being really kind. But the truth is I had to step up my game to meet her game.
Now, I have to say, the way that
I'll take it, but it was a joint process.
The finished article, I am telling you, there are so few tunes that you know that you would hear at the most underground of basement raves, and you could hear on daytime radio. Like, this is one of those tunes that is so universal. It's just amazing.
That's like the nicest thing you could possibly say, because I feel like my entire career goal is that, is to like straddle both worlds, which feels like almost impossible at times. So that's the nicest thing you could ever say.
Oh, well, it's true. It's true. I mean, also the lyrics, Bklava, they're very, very uplifting. Was it inspired by a real situation, or are you just that good at writing stories?
Thank you. Well, for me, it was kind of like, I based it on quite a few things. I mean, like initially it's kind of just about being independent, but it's actually kind of also about like being a woman and being like completely fearless of just doing something, even if it's a bit naughty, just because it's going to be good for you. And that's kind of like the main message of the song. Because, it's talking about feeling like dangerous, like not afraid to be a sinner. But it's like these bad things that like are actually good because it's good for your your head, your mental health, and that so it really when I started writing it, I think I thought about one specific thing, but it kind of like looked back on a lot of different like moments in my life where I felt that way.
What you're saying is that you are just that good a writer. That's all it is.
Wait, I also have to tell you, Bklava, I have to tell you something. I played a friend's private on Sunday at South by Southwest in Austin. Yeah. And I ended with Sinner. And afterwards, and she was in the woman who booked the event. She's this very powerful woman. She was one of the co-founders with Bumble, the app. She's a badass. And she was in the very front row and she was screaming every lyric to Sinner, and it just came out. So it's like, it's always kind of surprising to see that. And I was like, awesome. And afterwards she pulled me aside. She's like, I signed my divorce papers today. And as I signed them, I had Sinner blasting on a repeat because it was like the first time I felt like I can like wash my hands of this and like move through my life. And she's like, so that song, like, thank you so much. She was like in the front row crying, singing every word. And I was like, I can't wait to tell Bklava this, because I mean, that's as a lyricist, that must mean a lot. And I just told her it was cool to be part of that track. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Well, there we go.
There you go.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I love the tune. I love the song. The very first time I heard it, big love to Wes from The Affected, who sent it to me early. And I heard it. And I mean, the pair of you know that I am big fans of both of your work. You know this. Putting the pair of you together, it's a spiritual moment. That record is so special. So special.
Thank you. Well, you know, we're big fans of yours. And actually, it's so cool to be able to work with. I was a fan of Bklava before I got connected to her. When I found out that we had the same agent, I got so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, there's one connection to us. Yes. I've been listening to her. And as a US artist, I feel like there's this really cool thing happening in the UK. There's like a lot of these awesome female producers out there making really cool music. And I feel like there's this like cool girls crew, and I just like desperately wanted to be a part of it. And when I found out that I had a connection to Bklava, I just got so excited and immediately knew that we had to work together in some way. But I had no idea that, you know, we were going to be able to make something as magical and fulfilling as this track. It's been wild.
Now, the pair of you are both touring the US right now on the Femme House tour. Now, how has it been going?
Oh my God.
So fun! It's so fun! Are you kidding me? The two are the artists that I love, and so we kind of, the transition is at the end of Bklava's set, beginning of mine, we do Sinner, and she sings it live, and her vocals, like, I don't know if you've ever seen her in a club sing vocals live, but it is insane. Her voice just like belts over everything. It's like I have everything cranked up all the way, and it's like still her voice is just like soaring above the club. It's like that final drop, you know, and she's just like belting like backups and like ad libs, and it's just like, and then me next to her like also just like singing, luckily not in a microphone, just like at a key, you know, just like belting it by myself. It's so fun.
You know, it's been so good having Sinner come out whilst we're touring, because like the second it like dropped that Friday, we were like just like shouting on the mic like, this was out today. Out now. Like, it just felt like this like big powerful moment. I was like,
basically the tour is your launch party. That's what it is.
Totally. And we get to play night after night. It's been so cool. And we're doing these Femme House workshops in person beforehand, teaching Intro to Ableton. And Bklava has been coming, and at the end, like telling her story, her journey into music and production, and how she got into the industry, and all the girls get to ask questions about, you know, how she did it. And it's just like, it's been really beautiful and magical to see all of it happen, from the club to the workshops to, it's been awesome. I
love the whole concept of Femme House. For anybody that hasn't heard, or anyone that's been living under a rock, LP, break down Femme House for me, please.
Femme House is a 501c3 nonprofit that I co-founded in 2019 that teaches, we do free workshops and courses, online courses, to teach production and the technical aspects of making music to women and gender expansive individuals. And these are our first in-person workshops on the Femme House tour. And it's been a blast.
See, I love the fact that you're just investing in the next generation over and over and over again. It's just beautiful to see.
Well, it's actually the thing that keeps fueling. I mean, I'll tell you what, getting on an airplane day after day, being exhausted, playing in the club till 4 a.m., it can be pretty tiring. But then you show up at these workshops and you see all these other people who are excited about something you're excited about and are taking the time to learn, and taking 2 hours either Saturday or Friday night or whatever to like come together. And like at the Brooklyn workshop, you know, at the end of it, they were like, exchange it, like, you know, I want to book you for my party. Like, oh, you've never played out before in a DJ set. Like, how can I help you do that? Like, just like seeing that community is so fueling that like, okay, I can get on the airplane the next day, like no problem. It's really cool.
Because Bklava, I've toured the US before. You do realize that normally touring the US isn't this good, right?
It's been pretty tough.
It ain't normally this good.
Oh God. It's been hard. It's been challenging, but honestly,
it's challenging.
I'm having a great time.
Early flights. Woo.
Yeah, early flights. Early flights.
It's because the workshops, you know, are like earlier in the day. So like a normal DJ would like take the later flight out, but her and we're not.
Yeah, I had like 8 hours sleep over like 3 days. As we were gigging, came back. You know, by the time you like wind down, I had like 3 hours for the first 2 nights, and 2 hours the second night. Yeah, and then I'm just getting on a flight, just like, and then when I got to LA, like I've had a bit of chill time here before I've got like 2 gigs this weekend. And the first day I was here, I was like, the sun was shining, it was so nice. I was like, you know what? I was like talking to like my family back home, and I was like, I might go out. They were like, you need to sleep. What do you need to do? I was just like, okay, fine, I will listen, like, you know, my word. And I slept like 12 hours, 4 hours a day, and then just like conked out for like a nice 8 in the evening, and it was very well needed. So yeah, it's been hard, but it's been worth it. It's been really fun.
I love that. I mean, you do need to make sure that you eat well and you need to sleep well. I mean, I sound like your uncle right now. Make sure you're eating and sleeping.
It's real though. It's like you have to be extra. It's like you're an athlete, you know. You have to like take extra care of the food, the nutrients you put in your body, and the kind of sleep. It's like it's no joke. No,
it's true. It's very true. Now we have to reference the fact, LP, where you are currently FaceTiming us from. The amount of synths that you have.
It looks so good in there.
Oh my gosh, this is why it's so hard. So it's so funny though, because I do most of my writing on the road, like on airplanes, and like emails can't be coming through. So then I'm using software synths, and then I get back to my studio, and I always think like, oh, I'll rerun these parts through like my hardware synths, but like I never do. But here they are, just in case one day. I actually just outside. I just got a Prophet Rev 2.
Ooh.
And that's like my new baby. I think I'm going to add it to my live set though, because it kind of can do everything, you know, it can do the plucks and the pads and the basses and the leads. So that's my new toy.
I mean, we do have to make sure that the pair of you get into that studio at some point before the end of this tour, because the pair of you together producing everything, writing like that needs to happen, please.
It's pretty magical. Yeah, you're right. Definitely. Let's get our asses to Austin.
Now, I also have to play another tune right now, an LP, your version of Ben Kim's Somebody to Love. It came out of nowhere and smacked us upside the head. What made you want to jump on this to remix this?
Can I tell you the truth about this one, which is hilarious? Okay, well, first of all, the vocal, it's an old rock and roll vocal, which is like my bread and butter, Raised by Deadheads, like that's my jam. I was
Grateful Dead, baby, yeah.
Grateful Dead, you know? But that being said, at the time when Gorgon City, it's on their label, and they reached out to me to remix this, I was currently, in the month of January, I worked on 9 remixes. So this was like the 8th one to come in, and I was like, I can't even listen to it. Like the answer has to be no. Like I can't, I was touring, I was playing Tulum in Mexico, and like, I was just like, somebody has to say no. And so I hadn't even heard the amazing top line, you know, or the Jefferson Airplane vocal. But then they came, so I said, no, I am so sorry. I'd love to do this another time, but you know, I'm working on 9 remixes. They came back and they're like, okay, what if we offer you a slot on our Red Rock show? And then I was like, oh, I've never seen Red Rocks. One of my dream venues. I was like, okay, I'll figure out how to do this. And then I heard the vocal and I was like, thank goodness they came back with that, because this is the coolest. This is the most amazing vocal ever. And what's so fun about this track is like I'm playing like main stage EDC and main stage Tomorrowland this year, and honestly those slots terrify me because I don't really like the big room stuff. It's like I'm a little bit worried about those slots maybe going flat, and this is one of the tracks that like I can play.
Me and Bklava aren't letting you get away with that.
No, we're not. Don't say that like so.
Yeah, I just don't know if I have like that, you know. But this is one of the tracks that like I appreciate you. But this is one of the tracks like I'm proud of it, and I think it can work at that, you know, work on that stage. And so I feel grateful to like at least like I'm like maybe I'll just play this track and center on repeat. Because I don't know what else I'll play yet, but at least I'll have these two. Yeah, so it's funny how that came together.
Now, Bklava, you're behind the decks, you're behind the mic, you play your instruments, you write your music, you produce your music, you get different genres, you mash them together, you make something that has never been made before. But I read that you wrote your first song at 10 years old. Is that right?
Wait, what?
You see this? But it's true.
Wait, right. How do we hear that?
We need to hear 10-year-old you. Can you remember the song?
It's called Good Friends. And you know what? I don't remember the song, but I never knew I recorded it. I found the CD in my old house. And it's like Good Friends, and it's got loads of like little love hearts everywhere on the CD.
Oh my God, like the perfect mixtape CD. No. Wait, you have to get that for us.
That was like my first official like recorded song. But I always think of my first recorded song. Oh my gosh. So I got to year 7. I'd been like really bullied in primary school. And in year 7, we had like an opening assembly, like first year of secondary school. You would think I'd want to like kind of like lay low, try and make some friends. But I, lo and behold, went and offered my services to the school assembly. And I was like, you know what? I really want to write a song. The theme was about bullying. And I was like, I'd really like to write a song for this assembly. Can I do that? Like, just, they didn't say we need people to perform. I was just like, let me just do this, please. I have an urge to sing for everybody. First year of school and embarrass myself. And that was called the Bully Song. And that was like my first official, like, I made money off of that song. I recorded it onto CD. It was like £1 for the single. And I sold 20 copies around the school.
We got you hooked. Yes.
Yeah. Made the artwork and everything.
No way. Yeah. Okay. Well, we need a copy of that at the very least.
So yeah, that was when I was like 11. So that was
that means that someone somewhere is going to still have a copy of that, and that potentially might be on eBay.
That potentially might be on eBay.
I'm looking on eBay right now.
So amazing.
Oh my God, that will resurface one day. I've just accepted it. I've made my peace with it. Like, I don't want anyone to hear it, but if it does, I'm like, fine.
Can you imagine the Discogs entry for that? The Bully Song, I love it. I
weirdly didn't get bullied after that. I was like, when I look back, I was like, how did I not? Like, I was setting myself up for a serious trap there. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'll tell you how you didn't get bullied, because you were good. And everyone was like, okay, we don't want her to write a song about us.
Yes, because the song was a bop.
It's like Adele's exes. They're like, yeah, well, it might not have worked out, but listen to the music. An LP, listen, you are a DJ, a producer, a writer, a director, a label owner. The list really is endless. Why did you choose, though, at this moment in time, to focus on the DJing and producing and not do everything at once? Or are you doing everything at once?
Oh, I am definitely doing everything at once. Yeah. I am. In fact, I feel like, this tour with, the Bklava coming out and everything, I am literally working until the second that I go on stage, and then I get off stage at 4 a.m, and then I work a little bit more, and then I go to bed for a few hours. I'm like, man, am I being like a bad tour mate? I promise you I'm going to be a better friend moving forward. So I'm trying to figure out how to do less emails and more. I try to, like, that right now I'm focusing on, so I play the piano and I DJ, and I'm realizing I just watched a documentary about the Grateful Dead, and Jerry Garcia would practice his scales like 6 times a day, even while they were touring. So I'm like, okay, I need to, during my sound check, I'm going to try to do scale practice during my sound check, I'm trying to find ways to, like, 2 birds, 1 stone. So, like, I'm sound checking and I'm doing my scales. Like, I'm, on the airplane and doing my Instagram. I'm just, like, trying to figure out how to, I'm W Hotel's North American music director. So I do all of our music programming and sort of consult on a bunch of stuff there. And we have a lot of the workshops are at, all of the Femme House workshops are at W Hotels, which is nice to bring all that together. Then there's Femme House. And then I work on a record label and publishing company with Sophie Tucker called Animal Talk. And
now I wanted to talk to you about this, but I can't find any information online post 2019. What's going on with Animal Talk?
So Animal Talk, we sort of pivoted into a joint venture publishing deal with Third Side. So Third Side is, Third Side has done all the syncing for Sophie Tucker, which, if you know anything about them, it's world domination on syncing.
Yeah. Please can I have their email address?
I know. The only problem with having with having Animal Talk work with Third Side is, like, it's like you have to stop giving Sophie Tucker sings and give some of the other artists on Animal Talk some sings. Like, shoot. But they've been great in putting some of our new artists that we're developing in sessions. And we just signed one that we'll be announcing soon. And we're developing another one that we're probably another amazing female singer-songwriter. And we'll also be we'll be doing some parties this year, some animal talk parties.
Amazing.
Which we've done in the past, but had to pause since the pandemic.
Just when you think, you've got your diary full, you go and do something else, and then something else, and then something else. The pair of you,
I have a really good team, though. I have as everybody here knows, it takes a village. So yes. I have a very, very good team.
Yeah.
I have to ask the pair of you, because both of you did get your start in it very young. Both of you, have been making music for a very long time. There's going to be people listening to this right now who, like my daughter's age, who are 11, who really are interested in getting into music, who really want to do it. What advice?
I love that age.
Yeah.
What's your daughter's name?
Olivia.
Yeah. Oh, she's at the perfect age. Okay.
What advice would you give to my 11-year-old daughter? She wants to make music. What advice are you going to give her?
Ooh.
Bklava, because of you in the Bully song, I think we'll come to you first.
Yeah. Circling back to that, be fearless, put yourself out there. It doesn't matter what age you're starting, how, if many years time, I don't look back at anything I did at that age and be like, oh, that's so embarrassing. Now I'm like, hey, I was an entrepreneur, at the age of 11, selling CDs around the school. That was a little startup thing. Just put yourself out there. And just be as creative as possible. 11's really young, so anyone starting anything at that age is just, that's great. And just have fun with it, and don't stop creating. Even if you venture to other things in life, always try and bring yourself back to something creative. Because I feel I don't know, as people, I feel we all need it somehow, somewhere in our lives, and it just kind of makes us, I don't know, feel centered and human, and really just connect with our emotions in some way. So just getting all spiritual, but doing creative things just really, I don't know, it just really brings it home for me when I'm stressed or feeling out of touch. If I do something creative for myself, that's I center myself and feel good. So doing that at that age is already some form of it's already doing great things for your mentality and your future. So just keep going, doing your thing.
LP, anything for you to add to that?
Yes. I would say it's not about being the best producer, most talented musician, best creator. None of those things are actually the thing. I think the most important thing you need is belief in yourself and persistence. And those two things are attainable to anybody.
Love that. I love that. Right. Wow. We have got quite deep and spiritual. Let's end our conversation with a bit of fun. Now, every single...
I love fun.
Now, every single DJ that we have pass through Capital Dance, we make them their very own DJ card. You remember Top Trumps, where you would get a card with someone and it would have certain skills marked out of 100, and then you try and do swapping with those Top Trump cards?
Oh, love Top Trumps.
It's kind of like Top Trumps, but it's our own for legal reasons. It's Capital Dance DJ cards. Now, we've had Diplo, we've had Jodie Harsh, we had Paul Wolford, we had Jax Jones, we had Riton. They're all part of the collection. I want to add you both, if that's okay.
True honor. Wow. It's a good group of people.
Now, basically, I am going to ask you to rate a number of DJ skills out of 100. And given the skills we covered already, you're probably going to be 100 out of 100 for all of these, right? I don't want fake humility. I want honesty.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
Out of 100, what would you score yourself for songwriting? Bklava's face is
songwriting? Are you talking songwriting the actual song, the lyrics?
The overall song. Whether you write just the beat, whether you write the lyrics, whether you write everything.
Okay.
The song,
songwriting.
Your songwriting skills.
Oh, this is hard. Out of 100?
Yes.
I'd say right now I'm at 70.
Okay.
That's a good number.
Bklava, you going for 72?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, come on.
75. That's more for my lyrics and melody than...
I feel we should rate each other, because she should at least be 85.
Yeah. I'm not getting involved. I just asked the questions. I'm not getting involved. Okay. Instrument skills. What would you score yourself out of 100? Bklava?
50.
50.
Yeah.
Okay.
90.
90. Nice.
And I've been doing it since second grade. I would hope.
Could you imagine? I've been doing it since second grade. Oh, I'm about a 25.
Something seriously wrong.
I was not paying any attention. Mixing skills, behind the decks. Mixing skills.
85.
85. Nice. Bklava?
80.
80. Okay. What about the crowd hyping skills? What are the pair of you like grabbing hold of a microphone? Ollie, Ollie, Ollie!
If we're together, like what, during Sinner, 245, I would say, out of 100.
I'll take that. That's for both of you. Here's the one that people tend to be slightly less honest about. Dancing ability.
Honestly, I think this is what I do the best.
Yes, I'm going to rate myself high on this.
I think I have to do 100.
Even if it's not true, I love it.
That's the one that I'm really confident. Sadly.
98.
98 Bklava.
Yeah. Okay. 97. Yeah.
And finally, the one thing that neither of you I'm allowed to let you lie about because I've seen both of you and both of you are so stylish. Outfit style.
Oh. 5. Yes, I am like, yeah, I'm 5 out of 100.
No.
I'm like literally wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt at all of our gigs. And I'm like, I don't know what else to wear.
Yeah, but I've seen some of those vintage Grateful Dead t-shirts.
Okay, those are sick. Okay, you're right. Those save me.
Yeah, go higher up that scale now.
Bklava, what would you rate yourself?
89.
89.
Yeah, girl.
Well, we will get your official DJ cards made up and we will get them sent to you. We appreciate you so highly.
I love this.
Amazing. I want to know what everyone else has done now. Like, I'm intrigued to see if this will change.
Do we get to see everyone else's cards too? Is there like a...
Oh, yeah.
What Paul Wolford did. What did Paul Wolford rate his dancing? Because I was side stage during one of his sets and his dancing is amazing.
We've got to find it because we've posted them online. I've got to find it, but I'm pretty sure that he was the one that made me say to everybody, post that. You can't be fake humble, because Paul was like, oh yeah, like I'm a 30. Shut up, Paul! You're amazing! I'll find it.
He actually does think that because he does seem that humble. But yeah, his dancing skills are like next. It was my favorite.
Next level. And listen, I truly appreciate your time. Thank you so much for that conversation. Thank you for the music. Please keep it coming. And hopefully the next time the pair of you are together in the UK, come and see us in the studio.
Thank you so much. Huge fan. Thank you. I love your music and your show. It's an honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.